Hey everyone, this is Big Mike, and welcome to the It Chapter 2 spoiler review. Once again, I'm joined by my man Dave. We're going to do a spoiler review this time. Before we get started, Dave, tell them about your podcast.
Yes, I'm Dave. We're going to have, I'm starting a podcast. It's going to be up in a couple of weeks in pre-production. It's going to be me and a couple of friends, and we're going to get together and talk some horror movies. You can find us on Facebook under the Primetime Horror Show. And we're brought to you by Sacrificial Pawn Productions. We're still in pre-production right now. We should be up in a couple of weeks. But it's going to be a great time. We're going to talk some horror movies. And if you like horror and you want to listen to us, give us a shot. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome.
It's going to be fun.
Awesome. Good stuff. Yeah, this is big movie buff right here. I've known this guy for almost 20 years. Also a big horror fan. Check out his podcast. So let's jump into the meat of It Chapter 2. Spoiler review. Okay? So if you haven't seen it,
Spoilers.
go check out my other video, which is non-spoiler, where Dave and I talk non-spoilers, but this one, spoilers. You have been warned. Here we go. Spoilers. Beginning of the movie. We get the losers. We're introduced again to the adult versions. The death scene. The first death scene. The first death scene in this movie. It sets the pace. So it sets the pace for how this movie is gonna go. Okay? Because it's like, hey, are we gonna be like funny? And no, we're not gonna be funny. We're gonna be gruesome. We're gonna take a chunk out of some guy and swallow it like a freaking alligator.
Right.
Whole, and like look at his boyfriend while you do it, like, what you gonna do, man? Like, dude, I was like, whoa, what just happened?
It starts off right off the bat with, you got some violence and it leads into a very gruesome death.
Yeah. So I don't know if you read the book. So in the book, there was a very controversial scene in the book where Pennywise incited like a gay bashing. Okay, so they're at the carnival. There was a gay couple, and there was a group of people who beat them up, and threw one of them over into the ravine below, and that's where Pennywise scoops them up, and carnage ensues. So that part, like I said, it was gruesome and set the pace for the movie. Like, even I was super surprised. Like, we read, if you read the book, and we knew that Pennywise likes to prey on children, right? We even see that, in the first one. But they didn't really, the scene with Georgie was kind of, I was like, wow, I was shocked by that one too.
Yeah, that was very gruesome when they showed
right,
it.
But
very shocking.
But this time around, they show you a little more.
Because you have him, he's in the ravine, and he's already almost half dead as it is.
Yeah.
Because of being severely beaten. And he's kind of like, Pennywise is luring him towards him.
Yep.
And he actually played with his prey in front of his boyfriend, and then he
bites a freaking chunk out of his
chest.
Yeah. Oh, God. And even like the kids, like there was some kid deaths. Like
there was 2 major death scenes with 2 children, and they didn't shy.
Oh, no. They didn't. They weren't like, oh, this is a child, we're going to cut away. They did not cut away.
No. No. And that's what I love about this movie, because they could have easily gave us that PG-13, no blood, no really any gore.
You know how I feel about PG-13 horror movies.
Yeah,
they should never be made. I'm sorry, that's just my
opinion. If it's a horror film, it's got to be rated R.
It has to be.
Even if it's not rated R, you have to go for it.
Yeah.
And that's why I give this movie a lot of props, because they go for it.
Yeah.
They show you the deaths, and they're very gruesome. The 2 death scenes with the children, like you feel really sorry for them because you see it.
Yeah.
And the scene with the mirror act when you see in the trailer, it's there. And you see it.
That one was bad.
You see the look on Bill's face, and the crush when he's crushed and he sees them.
And he couldn't do anything about it.
He couldn't do anything about it, and it's actually crushing for you as a viewer.
Yep. And it was very effective. It was very effective. Like I said, even though if you watch my non-spoiler review, like I said, the first act I absolutely loved it. Second act kind of drug a bit. Third act, it picked up the pace again, and it was good. What else I like? Oh, the in the Chinese restaurant, that scene. So there's a scene in the Chinese restaurant, and they're sitting there, when the losers come back together as adults, and they're remembering, and they're just shooting the shit basically. And then the waitress comes, they're at the end of the meal, and puts out a bowl of fortune cookies, and the fortune cookies start turning into like random creatures, and one's like got a baby head and like a cockroach body, and it's like crying. Oh man, it was really creepy. I mean, those are scenes that are like great in this movie.
Especially it was a baby with a bird. What, a baby head?
Yeah, that, and then it had like one that had a bat wing.
Batwing. One of the greatest scenes for me, because it's a straight throwback to John Carpenter's The Thing, was Stanley's head in the house and it grew the spider legs. That was straight up out of The Thing.
It did. It looked like that scene, but better.
It was such a great scene.
You didn't like the old lady titties? I thought that was gonna be your favorite scene.
Well, that's a great scene. Because you do that.
So in the trailer, the old lady, yes, you see old lady swinging CG titties, and
she's huge.
Yeah, she's a huge old lady who's butt naked with just swaying boobs.
Well, it's totally different. You saw that scene kind of in the trailer.
Yeah.
But that scene's completely different in the movie.
It is. Yeah.
So when you see it, she comes running out and you see everything.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds you of something about Mary, with the old lady.
Yeah.
And you gotta laugh at it.
Yeah.
But it starts up a little frightening and then it just kind of, especially the old lady doing the dance.
Yeah. Which was Pennywise, which was funny. Because even in the trailer, you see in the background, she's just like, spazzing out. But it's a really good scene. It's really fun. There's a lot of really good, really creepy scenes in this movie that if you're a real horror fan, you can appreciate. Like I said, there are some pacing issues in this movie, but overall, I mean, it is an enjoyable movie, and I mean, you can have fun with it.
Oh, definitely, because if you love the 2017 the Chapter 1, like you love these characters, and that's one of the main reasons why I really like this movie, is because we waited the 2 years for us to see these children as adults, and you get to see that, and you get to feel what these people have been doing for the last 27 years and how they're actually been affected by what they went through.
And they're very believable as their childhood counterparts. I mean, each actor, the casting director needs to win a casting Oscar, if that's even a thing, because the grown-up versions of the losers literally look exactly like, if you told me this was actually these kids grown up, I'd believe you. I mean, they were cast that spectacularly, and and they played their roles very well. What else did I want to say about that? So let's get into the finale scene, because we talked about the first act, now the second act kind of drug along. Let's get to more of like the third act. If you know it, if you read the book, if you watched the original series, we all know there is a problem with the ending. Just like most Stephen King books, this was actually even a running joke in this movie that Bill...
The endings are not good.
Yeah, because Bill grows up to be a writer, and everyone says, your endings suck. And we all know that's a Stephen King, thing where he writes these phenomenal books, but he can't write an ending. Even Stephen King has a cameo in his own movie making fun of the fact that he cannot write a good ending. Yeah. It's hilarious.
Now, I actually really like the ending to the book. The book, it's a little out there.
It is.
But if you've read a lot of Stephen King books, and I've read most of them, they kind of connect.
Yeah.
So you have to go with that theory that they're together.
Right.
So, but if you're just seeing it as a standalone movie, it's a little silly.
Yeah.
It's a little.
And like you said, you can't film that.
No, the ending to it is really an unfilmable ending, because you're talking about cosmic turtles, a multiverse, a demon spider, and in the book, the reason why it was a spider is because they stated that it's what the human form is the most afraid of. Because at some point in everybody's life, they're afraid of a spider.
Right.
So that's why he took the form of a spider. And in the book, it was actually a Black Widow.
Okay.
The way it looked, it was a
Okay.
Black Widow spider. But then you also got this cosmic turtle, and it's all psychic link. So you really can't.
Yeah, you
build
can't do
that.
that. You can't
And
do
it'll be silly.
And even in the original like TV series, we got a spider. But in this, I like how they did it. It still looked like Pennywise. It looked like Pennywise with like crab legs, and it actually worked better in
Right,
my
because
opinion.
he even had the spider hooves.
Yeah.
That would work well. Because if you go back and watch that '90s miniseries, the second half, you grown to love Tim Curry as Pennywise.
Oh, yeah.
But then when you finally get to the final showdown and all we get is that spider,
You're let
like,
down.
I don't like that. It's
Right.
boring. It's kind of stupid.
But now you still get Pennywise.
Right.
Like it just looks like Pennywise with spider legs, and it's actually kind of cool looking.
Yeah, actually, I liked it. I like the way they
Yeah.
did it, and you still see Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, and he's got the clown look,
Yep.
but he's just got the spider legs. It was very effective,
Yeah.
and I liked it a lot.
Yep. So overall, like I said, really enjoyed the flick. Like if you watched my previous review, my non-spoiler review, I gave it a B-/C+. Dave, what's your rating?
I give it a
again.
B+ to an A-. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend you go see it, because if you've seen the first movie and you loved it, go see this movie and finish the story.
It'll give you closure.
Because it definitely gives you closure, and that's what I really love about it.
Yep. Definitely a good flick. Go check it out. If you saw it, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Dave, shout out to your podcast once again.
Again, you can find us on Facebook as Primetime Horror Show. Like I say, we're still in pre-production. We should be up and running in a couple of weeks. Check us out. Like I say, if you like horror films and you want to hear a couple of guys get together, talk some great horror films, it's going to be a good time. Look forward to it.
Awesome. So, once again, as always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.